It loads up.
Oh.
All right. I think we're live now.
Okay, we're live now. So
all right, go ahead.
Are you able to hear us clearly? Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into crushthestreet.com. We're doing a video interview today with two guys. I hope you guys like this. If you guys do, we might make this a regular thing here at Crush the Street. I'm Kenneth Ameduri, and I'm joined today with Tai Zhen, CEO and Senior Technical Analyst of cryptocurrency.market, along with leonfu.com, CTO and Senior Fundamental Analyst of Cryptocurrency Market. And interestingly enough, I spent like an hour talking to these guys before this call here, and they tell me their closest subscribers that they have that are following them are all millionaires. And I am blown away. This is so exciting to be talking with them today. I've been trying to get them on the line here for like a month now, and they finally squeezed me into their schedule. So Tai and Leon, how you guys doing today?
Hey, great. Thanks for having us on your show, Crush the Street, man. We've seen your show in the past, and we really like it. And we were shocked to find out when you guys reached out to us that you live in Austin, also in North Austin.
Oh man, I love it out here. You know, it's a place to raise a family and a lot cheaper, as we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
How you doing, Leon?
Hey, good to see you. We gotta grab a drink sometime when we get back to we're out in California in the LA area. So when I get back home, we gotta grab a drink. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that. Well, let's get right into it. Many people feel like they missed the boat here on cryptocurrency. And I was talking to Tai a little earlier, and he caught me saying this morning, man, I wish I put more money into Bitcoin earlier than I did. And immediately he shot that down and said, no. We are so early in this game. Tai, maybe you start off. Why was I wrong in even saying that?
The reason why is because the cryptocurrency boom just started. Like Leon and I, we started over 4 years ago, back in late 2012, early 2013. We got into cryptocurrency investing, right? But you got to look at this as if it's the beginning of the dot-com boom in the early 90s. Like we've had several booms, market booms in the world. People call it bubbles, booms, whatever you want to call it. We're in a raging bull market right now. Like in the 80s, we had you said it was the PC boom?
The PC boom, yeah.
And then in the 2000s,
the 90s, it was the internet boom, the dot-coms, right?
Yeah, and then the 2000s, it was the gold and silver boom.
Yeah.
And then in the
late 2000s, we had the mobile boom, right? Yeah. And then now we have the cryptocurrency boom, right? So I've spent my career just riding each wave, or trying to catch the wave, trying to be in front, always trying to look forward as to what is the next boom. Like the last boom that I wrote, like I was doing iOS programming, mobile development. I was writing iPhone, iPad apps since 2010. And because we had the mobile boom, so I rode that for a while. But then I saw Bitcoin. I said, hey, you know what? I got to jump off that wave and come over to here to ride the crypto boom, right?
And when we both agreed on this, Kenneth, we both agree that the crypto boom, we got a good 3 to 5 years. We have a little discrepancy on when that starts, whether it started in 2015 or 16 or 2017. But we all agree that
not 2010 or 2011. You're not counting.
No.
Well, there's been a series of booms. Like if you follow me on Twitter, I'm by my count, this is the 5th or 6th Bitcoin/crypto boom. Like when Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin in 2009, there was no price. The price was 0, right, for the first year and a half. And then Mt. Gox started, and the price was 6 cents. And then it stayed around 6 cents for another year, right? And then we launched off 6 cents, 6 to 10 cents, up to like $1, and then cracked. So if you just go look at the logarithmic chart, if you set up a historical chart of Bitcoin and you change the scale to logarithmic rather than arithmetic, so that you can see the booms, the exponential booms, you can see that we're in the 5th or 6th boom right now of those major moves.
Yeah. And so that his audience will know what we're talking about. If you guys want to look at it, just go to tradingview.com and you type in the symbol BTC USD. That's Bravo Tango USD, and you select the Mt. Gox feed. Their exchange collapsed, but you can go back and look at these because they have more data than all the exchanges.
Yeah, the early days. That goes back to the early days.
And you go down to the bottom right where it says log and click on that, and you'll see it in a logarithmic scale, so it's easier to see.
Yeah.
So one of the things you guys are doing is you're investing in different cryptocurrencies, and you guys were able to spot Bitcoin's significance basically as soon as you learned about it. You guys got involved with it, and you were like, wow, this is a big deal. So I guess let's start off with how big of a deal Bitcoin is, and then I want to get into what you guys look for when it comes to investing in other cryptocurrencies that lets you know, hey, these are a big deal too, and we should be paying attention to them.
Are you asking for the secret sauce?
Well, I you know what? Here's the deal. I found that even when you give people something, most people are still going to want to go to you because you guys are the authority in it. They're going to defer authority to you. Even if you hand them everything, you teach someone how to change oil in a car, they'll still bring it to the mechanic to change it for them.
Yeah.
So do you want like a brief history lesson as to back in, like, I think we got started in late 2012, early 2013 when we first read the Satoshi white paper? Or do you want something more recently of what we're doing now? I mean,
let's talk about your optimism or your thoughts on where Bitcoin is going. Are we early in the sense that people buying at 2,700 are still early and it's going to 10,000?
Okay, so let's talk about the technologist and the investor. So the audience knows that we're talking from the investor, because they're going to ask us, well, you know, Tai and Leon said this, but then these other guys said this. So I think we need to put that.
Okay, so what should we go over?
Okay,
first part?
so before we answer that question, we just want to make sure that your audience knows the answer, what perspective it's coming from. So right now there are two major perspectives in cryptocurrencies. So when you talk to anybody in cryptocurrencies, you have to be aware what stance are they, what platform are they standing on, okay, as they're broadcasting their message. There one platform or one group of people that you hear talking about cryptocurrencies out there and Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. Your audience, if they're new to cryptocurrencies, they may not be aware that there's two major groups of audience of cryptocurrency enthusiasts out there, okay? One is what we call the technologists. Okay, so you want to describe what the technologists are?
So the technologists are purely interested from the technological revolution, and technologists, I think, is a little bit too narrow. That's just one subset of these groups of people. Some of them are political activists. Some of them are interested in the political aspects of Bitcoin and what it may allow. Some of them are interested in the technology of what new applications or what new capabilities the technology will enable. And some of it are in it for the philosophy and for the ideology, right? So that's one group of people,
that's what we call the people that want to change the world. Yeah, the people that want to change, hey, new technology, this is going to, you know, crush the governments and crush the fiat dollar and the banking system and take down Wall Street and take down the man and stuff. That's not who we are. Our channel, is for the other group. The other major group are the traders and the investors. Yeah, the people that came into cryptocurrencies to make money. Okay, they didn't come here to change the world. They didn't come here to change the environment or save the whales or anything like that. Okay, they'll probably do it after they make the money, but not while they're in the crypto space. Okay, so you got the save the world people, and then you got the technologists, and then you got the traders and investors looking to make money. And that's when we broadcast our cryptocurrency message. That's who we broadcast from, is from the trading and investing side. So that way your audience knows that, hey, these two groups of people, they all talk about Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies, but sometimes their ideologies are different. Our ideology, we look at it from a perspective of how do we make money from this boom, from this new technology.
So let's talk about that, though. I mean, and I want to ask you, starting with Bitcoin, what are your thoughts on it as it stands right now? Now, 6 months ago, I mean, it was what, triple digits or what?
It's gone up. Yeah, it's gone up over 300% in the past year.
Yeah, so it wasn't even and so it's almost $3,000. And the question now is there opportunity that you guys see in Bitcoin?
Well, we see opportunity,
like a price momentum perspective, but not only that, but real fundamentals. Do you see more fundamentals entering the Bitcoin space, or do you see more of it going into other cryptocurrencies that you guys are following?
Okay. To this day, the majority of the capital is still sitting in fiat. Okay, it's in U.S. dollars, euros, British pounds, Japanese yen. You know, all the big 7 currencies. They still, before they can get to all the alternates, that money has to still go through Bitcoin as of today. I think the only currency you can buy with fiat is Ethereum, and maybe a little Litecoin on some exchanges, but most likely the amount of capital that's going to be coming into cryptocurrencies has to go through Bitcoin as we speak today. So yes, there is still opportunity in Bitcoin. For how much longer or for how long, you know, that's no one I can say knows for sure, right? But to answer your question, yes, I think there's still opportunity. If you bought Bitcoin today and you held it for, say, 3, 4, 5 years, you'd probably be pretty happy because it's going to do better than anything else, any other investment you might have done as of today, right? But then about the altcoins, I also see that as I also, you know, our longer term perspective is there's over 1,000 new cryptocurrencies already on the market. New ones are coming out on a daily basis. Will one of these eventually supplant Bitcoin? My opinion as of right now is that seems to be like a very good possibility. You know, our personal opinion is, you know, there's something called the Bitcoin Dominance Index, which just simply is a measure of market share over how much Bitcoin is compared to the total cryptocurrency space. And we believe that that continues to trend downward over time. Not that we think Bitcoin's going to disappear. We're not saying Bitcoin is dead. Okay, we're just saying that the market share of Bitcoin is going to decline even as Bitcoin, you know, goes to 10,000 and beyond. You know, one of the views I have is it's going, you know, Bitcoin is going to hit, say, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, but it may, when it reaches those levels, it may not even be the dominant cryptocurrency anymore. And that's, as a trader and investor, we're constantly on the eye out, like what may supplant Bitcoin in the future.
And I want to add to that also. I want to add to what Leon just said. You know, is that when we say that there's, you know, 1,000 cryptocurrencies on the market right now, you know, what we mean by that is that there are so many coming out that you might as well just say there's hundreds and thousands of them. You know, I mean, if you want to get technical about it and say that, hey, there's 760 cryptos on the market right now, it might be that today, but then by next week there's about a dozen or 2 dozen more added. So
yeah,
I want your audience to understand that. Yeah. And if we just look at the pure numbers, just look at the facts here, and these are not our opinions, okay? But if you look at Coinbase, which is the biggest and the most popular fiat to Bitcoin exchange
in America,
or in our opinion, the most reputable one in America, okay, that's worth that we would be comfortable recommending, you know, or recommending to our users, they're backlogged by 3 or 4 months. That means that they've gotten 3 to 4 times more users
than they're
able to bring on,
yeah.
and they can't even answer customer service questions. I mean, just think about that. Just think about how if you were to go to a traditional broker such as Scottrade or TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab, and imagine trying to get a customer's, you send them money, like we send money over there, and it doesn't clear, and we have a question about it, and it takes several weeks. You know, with all these exchanges. I'm not saying Coinbase specifically, but I'll use an example, and this is very specific, like to Poloniex. I sent some transactions, you know, from to them, and it's been like since the beginning of May, and I still haven't gotten it cleared yet.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not that they're a bad exchange or anything like that. It's just that they posted on their blog that they've gotten 6 times more users now, and they just can't keep up. So the demand for Bitcoins, the demand for cryptocurrencies is so high.
It's outrunning the infrastructure.
Yeah, they can't handle it. It's not that they want to hurt customers or that they don't want to answer customers' questions and concerns. It's just that they're being flooded with so many new users that they cannot handle it. And this is not my opinion or Leon's opinion or our channel's opinion.
And this is across the industry.
Yeah.
Every exchange. It's not just Coinbase. It's not just Poloniex. Every exchange is so backlogged right now. And we've seen this before, right? We saw this in 2013. We've seen this multiple times before that Bitcoin and cryptos get this surge of new users that just come in and overwhelm the infrastructure, and then we go into a bear market, and then the infrastructure catches up a little bit, and then we start the cycle again.
Oh, and also, I just want to, for security reasons,
Yeah.
Kenneth, I want to mention this to you and your audience, right? You'll hear us talk about like Poloniex.com, which is a cryptocurrency exchange, or Coinbase.com. Just for security reasons, on our site at cryptocurrency, www.cryptocurrency.market, we have an FAQ, and we list the names of all the websites that we talk about, the exchanges, and the correct links, because there's a lot of hackers out there creating false websites and getting users to put their names and their, like
Phishing sites.
Yeah, like Shapeshift is one of the instant exchanges that we use, that people ask us, they want to make a small exchange. It's shapeshift.io. It's not .com. So if you go to the one that says .com or .org or .net, those are hacking sites that will try to steal your money. So just to be safe, if you hear us talk about Poloniex or Coinbase or whatever exchange that we talk about in this interview, if you're not sure what the domain name is, make sure you go to www.cryptocurrency.market. We have an FAQ there of the sites and the exchanges that we use, so that it's safe for the users. We don't want people going to the wrong website and get hacked.
Wow. Man, we'll definitely touch a little more on security in this call here, but thanks for bringing that up. I know just so many of us, we're beginners in terms of where we are and what we need to know when it comes to these cryptocurrencies. I remember when Ethereum was running and went over 400, and you're talking about Bitcoin dominance. I calculated the market cap. All it needed to do was just go to 500, and it seemed like it was going to do it, and it would have surpassed Bitcoin's market cap if Bitcoin didn't move up anymore. And a lot of people are saying Ethereum is where it's at. We have all these multi-billion-dollar corporations joining the Ethereum alliance here. And so let's get your thoughts on the Ethereum's momentum and its future. And its
I'm going to speak a little more in general terms on whether it's not Ethereum or if it's Bitcoin or if it's Ripple or any one of the top 10 is going to surpass Bitcoin.
Just real quick, right? Because we keep throwing the word Bitcoin dominance around.
Yeah.
And just so that his audience knows, could you just quickly explain what that is,
sure.
so that we're talking about it, but the audience may not.
All it is if you go to CoinMarketCap, or if you go to CoinCap.io, which is a competitor of CoinMarketCap, and they just list all the known cryptocurrencies and their market caps, and just adds it all up, right? That's the total market cap of the known cryptocurrencies that currently exist and that number right now is about 111, let's just say it's 110, 111 billion. Bitcoin dominance is, if you take the 2680 that Bitcoin's trading at, multiplied by the 16 million Bitcoins, that's about 44 billion. 44 billion out of 110 billion is roughly, let's call that 40%. And that's simply a measure of Bitcoin's market share. I guess that's the way you can do it. It's just the percentage of the value of Bitcoin versus every other known cryptocurrency that's on the market. And that number historically has been 80-90% or higher. Up until recently, it had just collapsed down to below 50%. That's an event that just happened a few months ago. So that's what that is. Now, where I believe now is that we believe cryptos over the next long term, 5-10 years, is going to reach the trillions. I mean, if you consider like gold has a 7 trillion, currencies, all the major currencies in the world is worth about 100 trillions. We call these asset classes: bonds, real estate, precious metals, stocks. All of this stuff are what we call major asset classes, and they're all measured in the trillions. The total value of all of these are measured in the trillions. So our investment thesis as here at Cryptocurrency Market is we believe cryptocurrencies will reach multiple trillion-dollar market caps in the long run. Now, but we don't exactly know what that's going to consist of. Those things, it could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, or it could be something that has yet to even come into existence, right? So if we call it, we have 100 billion today, and we're going to a trillion, that's a 10x move. There's still 900 billion ahead of us of value that's going to be created in the future that doesn't exist today. But where is that value going to go, right? What vehicles is that value going to be created in? Is it going to be Bitcoin? Is it going to be Ethereum? Is it going to be something that doesn't even exist today? And that's what our channel is about. Our channel is about allowing investors and traders to capture the growth in the cryptocurrency assets. So yes, I do think Ethereum, to answer the question, do I believe Ethereum is going to surpass Bitcoin? There's a very high probability that that might happen. Not that it will, but should you have some Ethereum in your portfolio? Definitely. You need to have a position in Ethereum. You need to have a position in Bitcoin, because no one knows the future. But we don't need to know the future, right? We don't actually need to know the future. You can use investing strategies and a little bit of statistics and a little bit of math to construct a portfolio where you will capture the majority of the gains that is coming in the future if our thesis is correct. If cryptocurrencies do emerge into a dominant asset class, into a major asset class, you don't actually need to know what is going to be next in order to capture those gains.
That's a really good point, and you guys are amazing at being in front of the market and having a pulse for it. The thing that the average person is experiencing now is the benefits of the wind at our backs in this bull market. Everything is going up. You almost can throw darts at things and make money, especially if you did it just even a few months ago. And I just want to drill you on this and ask you, how confident are you guys in your strategy if we did go into this bear market, that 2013 to
we're going to lose money. We absolutely are going to lose money. I mean, if we go into a 2014 bear market, I think it took about a year to bottom out, where 2014, we've lost about 80% of overall, 60, 70, 80% somewhere along the line. And 2015 was pretty much flat. And then towards the middle and end of 2016, we started going up, and we started, making the recovery, right? Where you're absolutely going to lose money if we go into the bear market, but that's your risk management. That's the part why you don't keep all of your money in crypto. We have never said to put all your money in crypto. Never in our point. Some of us did. I did not do that. Okay, I did not put more than 10% of my total net worth in cryptos. Okay, I never. Anytime somebody asks me, should I put my money in Bitcoin? I said, yes, you should put some of your money in cryptos. But I've never advised anyone in the entire 4 or 5 years. Not some people didn't listen to me and did it anyway, but and it made out. Okay, but great, you got lucky. But realize that we will have a crash. We've had multiple crashes. We will crash again. It is not a straight line between, when I say that we're headed to the trillions, that doesn't mean it's a straight line up, or even it's more like up and then a crash and then up and then a crash. And each one of these crashes, you're going to lose 80-90% of your money. You're going to, when CNBC posted an article saying, yeah, if you put $100 or $1,000 into Bitcoin 6-7 years ago, today you have like 70 million, 100 million, something like that. But what they didn't say is you lost 80-90% of your money 5 or 6 times along the way. Like, it is absolutely possible for you to go from $100 to $100 million and lose 90% of your money for 3 to 4 or 5 times while you got to that 100 million. Right.
And just to add to that, he was saying, put us only a small portion. Many of our followers know from our channel know that I put all my life savings into crypto. Like when I started, he only put a small fraction in, right? But I put all my life savings in it. And I just want to make this disclaimer, Kenneth, so people, your audience doesn't think that I'm just a crazy gambler or something like that, okay? I was an experienced stocks, futures, and Forex trader already before I got into crypto, okay? And when I read the Bitcoin white paper, I did not look at it as a electronic cash or a new currency or like a lot of the libertarians believe, you know? I looked at it from a technological perspective because I always had trouble getting my money out of the brokerage accounts. It would take like several weeks to clear the transaction before I can pull my funds out of my stock trading accounts. And when I saw that Bitcoin is a technology that clears and settles transactions immediately or almost instantly, now it's not. But back when in 2012, when I first saw it and heard about it in 2013, we were testing it, it clears transactions almost like instantly. You can say it's almost instant because it was doing it so fast. And I saw the value in that. That's like you telling me that, hey, you know what? We have gasoline cars right now. And now, you know, we got this, you just invented a new engine that, you know, you can just pour water and spit into it or urinate into it. And it runs and gets 100 miles per gallon of water or urine or something like that. I would put my life savings into that because I see the value in that. So that was the reason why I put my entire life savings into crypto back when I started. Not because I was a gambler, I was taking a risk or nothing. I saw the value in it because I was already trading and I saw how fast it can settle a financial transaction. That's the reason why. Okay.
That is powerful. Well then, Tai, I have a follow-up question. If you wouldn't mind, would you let us know how you've diversified your portfolio to the sense of you were 100% a few years ago, and have you brought it down, taken some money off the table to say, hey,
absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot, like, you know, like we have a lot of, we see a lot of our colleagues on YouTube that they talk about cryptocurrencies and stuff. And sometimes, you know, they talk about hold on to it and stuff. We are a firm believer that, you know, we're from the trading and investing side. You can't say that you're a profitable trader if you don't ever take profits. Right?
Oh, paper.
Yeah. Yeah, we pay our monthly bills, our personal expenses, our, you know, business expenses. Everything we pay with, it comes from the profits from crypto. Okay, so everyone on our team that pays their the expenses, you know, they're paying it from the profits from crypto. So we have to take profits in order to cover business expenses, internet expenses. I mean, just we have a business and a channel to operate that
costs,
you know,
money. Yeah.
That costs money. So that has to come from somewhere. You know, we're relocating to, we're, you know, looking for a house in, shopping for a house in San Diego. That costs money. So that has to come from somewhere. And, you know, the reality is that no matter how much money you think you made in crypto, you still have to convert it to US dollars in order to buy a home.
Significant purchase.
Yeah. You know, so yes, we do take profits. You know, we don't take profits off on everything, but if we need to make payments and monthly expenses and we need to cover expenses, obviously we do take profits to do that. Okay, so
but the wrong with what it goes to show how committed you guys are to this. This is what you're doing 100%, and
sure.
that I commend you guys for that and being able to do what you guys love. So
you know, when you say diversify, I don't know, did that answer your question? Or are you talking about diversified as far as like put it in gold and silver and stocks and put it back in the futures market and options markets? Or
no, I was satisfied with that answer, but you know, when I was originally asking, I was thinking, from a confidence perspective, do you still feel as confident in having all your money in Bitcoin as you did a few years ago, because you think Bitcoin has a lot more to run, and not just Bitcoin, but some of these other ones?
Right now, I mean, as crazy as this sounds, I would have more confidence putting my money into a Dogecoin or a Litecoin versus gold or silver. And I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not one of those guys that say, hey, you know, I believe in gold or I believe in Apple stocks, and I'm like, okay, do you have your life savings in it? I do. You know, and the reason why I say that is not because anything crazy. It's because the potential for a Dogecoin or a Litecoin or a Bitcoin or an Ethereum to grow. We don't have a bias here on our channel of any investment vehicle. if you tell us that we're looking out the window of the beautiful Southern California, Orange County, California right now, we're looking at all these beautiful palm trees in front of us outside the hotel room here, right, as we're talking to you, and it's a beautiful scene. And if you told us, hey, Tai, if you invest into these beautiful palm trees, it'll give you 100% return in a year, we'll do it. We have no bias, whether it's Bitcoins, Litecoins, Dogecoins, Ripple, it doesn't really matter to us. We look at it as, okay, for every dollar that we invest into it, what is the potential return on investment is what they call ROI. And if you tell us that, hey, gold has more of a potential, and here's the case for gold or silver or Apple stocks or Facebook stocks, whatever, we'll invest into it. It's just a matter of what is the potential ROI. And right now, and also what is the risk? Yeah, and what's the risk that's involved with that? Yeah. So if we put like every dollar that we have, if we put it into gold right now, yeah, it sounds great. It's been around for 5,000 years, but we don't care. The fact is, if we put $1 into gold today, a year from now, what is the potential profit?
Yeah. And I own some gold. If I put any money into gold, it's more. I'm not really even looking to make money off of it. It's just for capital. It's just for capital preservation. It's like I just don't want it to lose money. Because that's the point of diversification.
Yeah, so we diversify into crypto, and then obviously there's other things that we diversify into businesses. Is what we like to do. Is that the money that we make, we like to diversify it back and build businesses out of it, right? And that's for us personally.
Tai and Leon, one of the things that I'm getting is that you guys are agnostic in terms of where you're going to put your money. You want to look for value.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said that Bitcoin is digital gold and equivalent to digital gold. But you've also said that you're not 100% sure what direction Bitcoin's going to. You think it's very the possibility, the value is very exciting for Bitcoin, but you're not necessarily saying we know 100%. And
no one does. No one can make that claim that they know 100%.
People are putting their money where their mouth is and saying, I believe that Bitcoin is immutable 100% and equating it to gold's historical purpose in this world. So let's just touch on that real quick there. And then I want to move over and close this out with security.
Sure. So yes, I do believe that is a possibility. Now, if you tell me those people who says it's absolute, it's a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin will become the digital code or will become the dominant cryptocurrency, then I'd like to bet against them.
Yeah,
I'd like to bet against them, right? Now that like, give me some odds. Like, if you are 100% certain that is going to be the outcome, or 99.9% certain, I'll take a bet against you on that. Will you give me 1,000 to 1 odds? Will you give me 1,000 Bitcoins if you're wrong, and I'll give you 1 Bitcoin in return if you're right? I'll take that bet with you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, like put your money where your mouth is. If you really believe something is 100% certain, that implies you'll take unlimited risk.
And it's the other way around too, because we meet people that say, "Oh, Bitcoin's a scam. It's going to crash. It's going to go to zero." And our response is, "Well, short it.
Yeah, go.
And if you believe that much that this is a bunch of crap, go mortgage your house, get a loan, borrow money from your family, and bet against it.
Yeah,
if you're that certain, right? And then
but you see, here's the thing: we're traders and investors, and we don't think in terms of absolutes. We think more in terms of like odds makers. Mm-hmm. Okay, we think about like where, we're not 100% certain on anything, but what do we believe, and how much faith, or what do we believe the probability is of some event is going to happen, and what is the market saying? What is the risk reward offered by the market? Do we have an edge? Is the market saying something that while we think that there's an 80% chance of happening, but the market's priced that probability at 40%, we think our upside is, 10 times higher if we're right, and 1 unit of risk. Like, what is the potential reward for every unit of risk that we're putting on? right? That's as an investor how we think. We rarely ever think that. I mean, we have our opinions. Like, don't get me wrong. We have our opinions, but we don't. We never think of things that we absolutely know this is correct or this is wrong, right? And in investing, that is not the game. That is not the game. It's a game of probabilities. It's a game of like, all right, what might happen or what is a possibility, and if that were to happen, what would be your return for taking on that risk? All right, and so that's the thought process as an investor, and that's not what many people in the community think. They think Bitcoin, Bitcoin maximalist, it's only Bitcoin, and we don't think that way because we're investors.
Yeah, and I just want to say this too, Ken, so it's clear for your audience. When I say that I put my life savings into Bitcoin back in 2013, keep in mind, it's not like I had $1 million back then. Okay, so I mean, I had a very limited amount of savings that I put aside, and I put it into it because I believe in the clearing and settlement technology. I didn't even care if Bitcoin was used as a currency. We got the pound, we got the US dollar, we got the yen, we got the Canadian dollar. I mean, who cares if we have another one, right? We got PayPal, we got credit cards. Who cares? It was the clearing and settlement technology that I invested into. And keep in mind that when I put it into it and I put it all on Bitcoin, it was because that was all I knew at the time. I didn't know about the other cryptocurrencies. I had just started learning about cryptocurrencies, and it just so happened that the first one that I learned about was Bitcoin, and the energy brokerage firm that I worked at, they had a Bitcoin farm there, and I learned about Bitcoin. So that was the primary knowledge that I had was around Bitcoin. That's why I put everything into it.
Yeah, and remember that whether or not you go all in also depends on how much you have, right? Now, if you just have a few $1,000s and that's all you have and you're just starting out, then okay, I can understand you pushing all your money into Bitcoin or something that you believe in, because it's such in the grand scheme of things, it's such a small amount of money that even if you were to lose it all, you're not really even that much worse off than you were before you did make that bet, right? If you're just saying, I'm just out of college, or I just moved out of my parents' house and I have a couple $1,000s saved, and okay, if I lose that money, I'll just have to go, nothing really changed. I still have to go to work, get up and go to work every day. There's not a big difference. But if you're saying that, I have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, then obviously you're not going to push all your money into Bitcoin or something else, because you have more to lose, and it's not worth the risk to lose that, right? Versus where you are. If you're just starting out, then go all in on something, because you really don't have that much to lose.
Yeah, well, what do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose? I mean, if you have like $1,000 in your bank account and you put $500 in that on Bitcoin or some high risk investment, you're only going to lose 500. Unless you can't lose more than you put in. Most things stop at zero, right? They don't fall below zero, right? So you can't lose what you don't put in. And if you only have so little, just put it in Bitcoin or something high risk investment. If it hits, you might get $1 million, right? And
we had one of our clients that we were coaching. He put in just a very small fraction. I mean, maybe I think it was like 1,000 or 2,000, but it was enough to get him a house.
Yeah. So your downside, your downside is that 1,000 that you put into Ethereum, let's say, and then your upside was 2-3 years later you can buy a house.
Yeah. So to me, that's worth it. That's worth the risk.
Yeah.
That is absolutely worth the risk. And the other thing I guess I wouldn't argue with someone with is, let's say they did put 10% of their money into a cryptocurrency and it became 90% of their portfolio because of gains. If they continue to want to speculate, I wouldn't say that'd be a great idea. I would probably
no. You would definitely spread it out.
Yeah,
like you would take it out and put it into other ones.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say to them is the fact that they didn't have to necessarily work for all that money, because it always hurts when you lose a lot of money that you physically had to go out and earn an hourly wage for. But if all of a sudden they're up hundreds of thousands of dollars in gains, losing a certain amount of that, to me, isn't as painful.
Yeah,
sure.
I think most people would agree with that.
And we tell that. I've been saying on my Twitter channel, say, hey guys, I've been saying this for a couple of months, is when we started, Bitcoin, the whole cryptocurrency marketplace was about $1 billion, right? $1 billion. We are well over 100 billion today. So when we got started, the market is 100 times more valuable than when we first started getting involved in Bitcoins. So if you had picked random amount of coins, you're probably up somewhere between 50 to 100 times your original investment. Just by randomly picking a few of the well-known things, right? Currencies, you're up a massive amount of money, and you know, we talk about like the marginal utility of money. Like, what is really the value of an additional, say, $5 million if you already have $5 million, like, right? Like the question is, what is the marginal utility of that money? If let's say you have $5 million, if you got another $5 million, how much more are you going to be able to do with it? Probably not really that much. There's not really much more you can do at $10 million than you couldn't do if you had $5 million, right? So it's worth it for you to take some of that money off and go invest it in someplace safe, because the loss in utility if you were to lose that $5 million is more than the utility you would gain if you made another $5 million. Does that make sense? So yes, definitely, if you're up 50 or 100 times, you need to take some of that off and put it in a real estate, put it in stocks, or just leave it in cash or something like that.
Or if you're the government, they would just say, you don't need that $5 million. We're going to take that $5 million, right?
Well, you wouldn't take it.
Make sure you pay your taxes.
Make sure you pay your taxes,
yeah,
right?
Make sure you pay your taxes too.
Of course, I didn't mean that.
If you live in the U.S., you can go to the IRS .gov, and they have a button there where you can pay your taxes in advance.
Yeah, and let's just say you were, let's just say you do have a $5 million portfolio. Yeah, we're not saying to sell all of it. Sell $1 million, $2 million, whatever your situation is, and go pay your taxes, right? Go give your cut. Like this is our view of it. Yes, the capital gains tax, the long-term capital gains tax in America is about 20%. You are basically giving 20%. The government's fee is 20% in exchange for the security of the United States government, right? That is like, you get, once you pay your taxes, you're entitled to all the legal protections of the United States of America, right? And that's going to cost you 20%, 15 to 23%, depending on how much it is, to basically buy those services of the U.S. government.
Yeah, I think we have like 8 aircraft carriers.
Yeah, we have 8 aircraft carriers,
something like that. Somebody has to pay for that.
Somebody's
so 20%
got, we got the largest military in the world, and that's your fee for the services that give us the protections that we enjoy in this country.
Yeah, so that while we're talking here, somebody come up, hit us upside the head with a ball peen hammer or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's not get sidetracked too much, because I think you asked about security earlier. Let's make sure we address that. Yeah, because we made a bunch of mistakes in security, so we want to make sure if this audience starts to look into cryptos, there's some securities. Do you have some specific questions about it, or do you want us to just rattle off some specific security that we recommend?
Touched on it. I know you mentioned Coinbase and some of these other websites. Being careful with some of the logins. Look, I need to upgrade my security on all the things that I'm doing. I know being semi-high profile. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just run. We're just gonna do a security dump on you on your channel here. Okay. So let's just talk from the low, from the bottom, and then we'll just come up. Okay. In value.
So just a general philosophy about cryptos in general. We are in the wild west stage of cryptocurrencies. It's analogous to the frontier in the 19th century, in the 1800s, when you got the settlers, the wagon, people on a wagon, going out to the wild west, right? That is the state of cryptocurrencies today. Okay. So the first question is this safe? The answer is always no. Okay. Now there are things that are more safe than other things, but nothing is safe. Okay.
And when we talk about this, right? Like, people always ask us, hey, is Coinbase safe? Is Poloniex safe? Is using a hardware wallet safer than using a desktop wallet? Is it safer than? So people always ask us this all the time. Is this safer than this? Is A safer than B? Okay. And the answer is this. Okay. Like he said, nothing is safe. The question that you want to ask yourself is, how long does it take for the hacker to get to you?
Yeah.
So if you use it, if you do it this method, it only takes, like if you use a human created password for any of your cryptocurrency accounts, it only takes about 5 or 10 minutes for a hacker to figure out what the password is. They have special software that they can just hack into your account, and within just a couple of minutes, they can just figure out. So if you use a password such as, you know, like Crush the Street, right? And you created a Bitcoin account or a cryptocurrency account, you use Crush the Street because you think it's cute, it's your channel, and you use that as the password, it's almost guaranteed that the hackers will only take about 30 seconds or 1 minute to crack
if they decided,
that.
So what we view on security is like, what is there's no such thing as absolute security, but there is such things are, you know, it's more expensive for a hacker to attack you than other security procedures. That's how we view security. Security is
time and money.
Time and money, right?
Yeah.
If you, you know, before the interview, you asked us, is this password manager safe? Or are password managers safe? And I would say no, they're not safe, but it's safer than you trying to remember your password or you creating your password, right? Like you have to ask yourself, is not that whether this is safe, but is it safer than the next best alternative?
Yeah, so let's just use some examples so that the audience will understand, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say you created a password, you know, such as Crush the Street for one of your cryptocurrency accounts. The time and money it takes for a hacker to figure that out is about 30 seconds. And it costs hardly any money. It doesn't even cost any money, okay? If you create a password using a password manager such as Dashlane for a Mac computer, or KeePass or KeePassX or LastPass, any of those password managers, now it just went from 0 cost and 30 seconds to possibly hundreds of dollars and maybe a few decades. Right? So the hacker, you have to make it so that it costs money and time for the hacker to try to steal your cryptocurrencies. Okay? So now you just went from a minute to, like, let's just say 10 years or 20 years. And the hacker has to ask himself, is it worth it for me to run my computer for 10 years to figure out what the password to your account
is? Or to spend time and money to hack KeePass or to hack Dashlane, right? So that's how you have to think of security. And it's the same thing with the cryptos. We talk a lot about how do you secure your cryptos, right? Well, there's a lot of different ways for you to do that. You could keep them on paper wallets. You can keep them on your computer. You can keep them on your phone. You can buy hardware wallets. You can keep them on exchanges, right? So you know, when you ask yourself, is this safe? You have to consider about what you are trying to do and how much security you want versus the inconvenience you will have to implement those higher security, right? And it's a judgment call. It's a judgment say, all right, well, this is not as secure, but I need to be able to move my cryptos in and out quickly, right? Or, okay, this is more secure, but it's locked in a safe on a piece of paper. If I ever needed to bring that online, it's going to take me an hour to run to the bank, open the safety box, pull out my paper wallets, and load them onto a computer, right? So you have to understand from a security perspective, what are the advantages and disadvantages of each method. Some things are more secure, but more inconvenient. Some things are less secure, but they're very convenient. And so typically what we do in crypto is we use things that are less secure for small amounts of money that we need access to quickly, and we keep larger amounts of money in using methods that are more secure but are slower. It would take longer to get to that money. It would take more effort to actually get access to those funds. So that's generally the philosophy or the idea you have to ask yourself every time you ask yourself, is this secure?
The first thing I would recommend for security is that everyone use a password manager. And again, I'm going to say what the name of the password manager is, but you can go to our site at www.cryptocurrency.market, and it's spelled just like you hear it, and go to the FAQ, and we have a list of the wallets and the security services and devices that we recommend. Everybody use if you're on a Mac, you use Dashlane. That can be a free or a paid service. They have different features. And then if you're using a PC, you can use KeePass or you can use KeePassX. Okay, KeePass is an open source password manager, right? So that you only have to remember one strong master password, and then everything that is in there is encrypted. Okay, so you only have to remember one, because if you get into cryptos, more than likely, after about a year, you're going to have about
multiple passwords.
Yeah, you're going to have about 2 dozen, 3 dozen passwords, and there is absolutely no way that one, you can create a safe password that is like 50 or 100 characters long, and there's absolutely no way that you can remember it after you create that password.
And you need to update these. You have to change them on a regular basis because you're using, say, a login to, say, Coinbase or some other service, and they get hacked, and then they force everyone to reset their passwords. So now you have to continually change your passwords on a regular basis to remain secure. So are password managers safe? Can password managers be hacked? Maybe. Okay. But you know, what's the next best alternative then? Like, how are you going to manage hundreds of passwords and then keep them updated consistently and then randomly generate them so they can't run a dictionary attack on your passwords?
So the number one, use a password manager. Number two is that for beginning cryptocurrency investors, we highly, strongly recommend using a hardware wallet, such as the Ledger Nanos. And all these websites are just go to our FAQ and you can see it on there, right? So you don't click on the wrong link and go to the wrong website. But use a hardware wallet such as a Ledger or a Trezor. Now there's other ones out there, but those are the ones that
Key, I think, is another one. Yeah,
but those are the ones that we have tested and we have recommended that we have used, and it's easy to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and when you use either one, make sure that you put a passphrase on top of it. So even if somebody steals the hardware wallet from you, if they don't have the passphrase, they still can't get access to it. So there's multiple layers of security. Like they have a PIN where you have to type the PIN to get into the account in a passphrase. So make sure you use all that. So number one, use a password manager. Number two, use a hardware wallet such as a Trezor or Ledger. And then also, when you're a beginner, just for security and safety, so you don't lose all your money just making your first cryptocurrency investment, only invest in cryptocurrencies that you can actually put on a hardware wallet.
Yeah, that you can secure.
Yeah, so if, for example, Bitcoin, you can put on a hardware wallet. Litecoin, you can put on a hardware. Ethereum, Litecoin.
Dash. What else? Dash is.
For example,
you know, those are all supported. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, like Monero. Even if you think it's good, but you can't put it on any wallet, and you're not gonna be able to figure it out. Trust me, if you're a beginner, you know, like we haven't even, like Jax, the guys that built the Jax desktop wallet, they gave up on it, and the other exchanges. So those guys are engineers, and they give up on it. You don't need to be the one that tries to figure it out. Let them figure it out, and then you do it afterwards.
So really, when we invest, especially we recommend to beginners, only invest in cryptocurrencies that you are able to secure.
Yeah, on a hardware wallet.
Yeah, on a hardware wallet that's supported by a hardware. And there's over half a dozen of them already. Like you can invest in any of the Ethereum ERC20 tokens, like the Golems, the We Trust, a lot of these the BATs, right? Basic Attention Token. These are all the Ethereum and Ethereum tokens.
And let's just do this because you had a client that messed up, went and bought a bunch of them and found out they couldn't put it in a wallet. They thought it could. Before you, let's say that you are going to invest $1,000 or $100 into a cryptocurrency, right? And you know that it can be put on a wallet because you check and everybody says it can be put on a hardware wallet.
Actually, go do it.
Actually, go do it with like, out of that $100, go do it with like $5.
Yeah.
Transfer it from the exchange to the hardware wallet and then back to the exchange, and do it about 3 times to make sure that it actually works before you can do it. Because somebody else online might say it does, but it may be
you may not be able to do it, right? So definitely, whenever you decide you're going to invest in a crypto, make sure buy a small amount to begin with and play with it to make sure you understand it before you actually put your full position size in it.
And then after the password manager, the hardware wallet, the third thing is the desktop wallet. The type of desktop wallet that you use has to be simple so you don't screw it up. It has to be so simple that you, even if you're an idiot, you can still do it correctly without losing your money, because there's no insurance, there's no FDIC. No one's going to refund you if you send it to the wrong account. And I've done it before. You've done it before, right? So the key is that you always send a small amount. You always send before you do anything, you always send like a 1 or 2, less, like up to like a $5, $10 transaction to make sure that it works. Like if you ask me if I needed to send you $100 or $1,000 worth of Bitcoins, I'll send $5 first, and then you confirm it with me on the phone or on video that you got it. Then I'll send the rest. Okay, so it always does that. Always do that. When you buy it from the exchange, right, and you buy it from Coinbase, Poloniex, or Shapeshift, or any of those exchanges, right, you want to transfer it to your desktop, your computer desktop first. Okay, and then from your desktop, then you transfer it to the hardware wallet. Okay, so move it from the exchange to your computer, and then from your computer to the hardware wallet. The two wallets that I recommend for the desktop, the easiest one, this is like the easiest, and in our opinion, the best design wallet on the market, all right, is the Exodus.io wallet. Now, we also have to make a disclaimer about this, okay? We have a lot of our team members that are investors in the wallet service, the wallet design, the company itself. Like we, there's people on our team that invested into the company, and the reason why we invested into the company was because we believe in the project. We believe in the software. It was like the easiest and most elegant and most user-friendly wallet that we had ever seen, and that's why we made the decision to do that. So when we were making that suggestion to you guys, we want to be full disclosure that we are, there's people on our team that invest in the company Exodus itself. They don't have a cryptocurrency, so don't email us asking us, is there a coin for it? There isn't. It's just the company itself, right?
Yeah, I think they're out in Nebraska.
So so you would transfer it from there to Exodus, and then from Exodus you can transfer it to your hardware wallet. The second wallet that we suggest is using Jax.io. So the Exodus is a company based out of Nebraska, out of the cornfields, the out there.
I think, right?
Yeah, Omaha, Nebraska, I think it is. And then Jax.io is based out of near Tampa, Florida. Okay, and those are the two desktop wallets that we suggest because they're easy to use and they cover a lot of cryptocurrencies.
And I will just say, you really do not want to be holding large amounts of crypto in any desktop wallet.
Yeah. You just transfer it there and then transfer it to your...
that's maybe just a holding area where you move to exchanges, move them off exchanges. But for long-term storage of, significant, amounts of crypto that you don't want to lose, you should not be holding in desktop wallets.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing something that doesn't have anything, there's no other options. And in that case, I would have a separate computer that you only use for cryptos, that you don't use for your general purpose. So let's say you have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and you need to move $100 to the exchange. Let's say Bitcoin's at 2,500. You want to sell it when it gets to 3,000, and now it's at 2,900, and you're getting ready to sell it. Then you move the $100 from your hardware wallet to like Exodus or to Jax.io, and then from there, once it hits your target, then you move it to the exchange and immediately sell it and move it back to Exodus. Or move the cash or the US dollars into your bank account, wherever it is that you need to move it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like a waypoint wallet to where you move everything to it, to Exodus or to Jax.io, and then go there.
Yeah. A lot of beginners, they're holding their money on exchanges, and that's just asking for to lose your money one day. Because I remember when I first got into Bitcoin, the first half dozen exchanges that I bought my first Bitcoins from, they all went out of business. None of them exist anymore. Like the first several dozen Bitcoins that I had, the first Bitcoin I bought was at $40, right? And every exchange I've went to, some were hacked by hackers, such as the Mt. Gox. Some were hacked by the government. They didn't comply with whatever money laundering, KYC, whatever thing, and they were forced to shut down, or they tried to, but the compliance costs were so high that they couldn't afford it, right? So they got hacked by the government. So even Poloniex, 2 years ago, they were hacked and they lost 12% of their coins. This is an article back in 2014. You can go Google Poloniex hack.
And we had money at Cryptsy.
I had money at Cryptsy. I lost all my money at Cryptsy.
I did too.
Cryptsy was kind of like the Poloniex. So we beg our viewers and our friends and family to please,
and your viewers,
do
not leave it on exchange.
Leave your crypto on exchanges, because our exchange is more secure than when we first got it. Yes. But this is an arms race, where they exchanges upgrade their securities and the hackers get smarter. And tell you the truth, we think the government's going to come too. The reason you don't, unless you control your private keys, you do not control your crypto. You are at risk from both hackers and governments around the world. If you keep your money exchanges, that is you are taking on that risk.
And I want to elaborate on something he said earlier about the pioneers. When America was first created over 200 years ago, and the 13 colonies, the European settlers settled on the eastern side of America, of the United States, and they said, hey, if we want to expand out to the west, and any settlers and anybody that's a pioneer that was brave enough, if you guys go out there, we'll give you a bunch of land, 1 million acres, 10 million acres, 1,000 acres of land. You can just go out there and claim it for yourself, and that's your land, all right? And it sounds great. You go out there, you stake your flag, and you say, hey, this is my property here. This mountain belongs to me. I own this river. I own this lake. I own these 1,000 acres. Great, that's yours. But the risk that you take is that you're going to have American Indians shooting arrows in your back.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you can survive getting shot in the back with arrows, then you own 1 million acres or 1,000 acres for free.
Yeah. The reason you got it for free, the reason we are making this money is there are Indians out there. Oh, we shouldn't call them Native Americans. Okay, yeah. Native Americans out there.
There's computer hackers out there.
Yeah. Going to go out there and shooting at you.
Yeah.
And in our case, in the crypto world, it's not just hackers; it's also governments too. And that is a reason. That is a risk that we are going out to this frontier, and there's danger involved. There's danger from hackers. There's danger from governments. But there's also opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. There's massive amounts of opportunity as well. That as we go into this frontier. So when you go out there, be aware of what the risks are.
Yeah. And one of the biggest risks, in addition to security and the legal risk from the government and security risk from other computer hackers, Kenneth, I think, me personally, I think that the biggest risk that your audience or our audience can take is the opportunity cost of missing the crypto boom. I would say that if you're listening to this and you follow Kenneth or you follow our channel and you've been thinking about cryptos, go put $50 into it. Go put $10. Go. The thing is to get started. The average profit on the average return that somebody makes sitting on their ass and doing absolutely nothing is 0%. Even if you put $10 into it, if you make a mistake, you will learn so much from that it will help you learn some more. Just get started. If you're in a country where $100 is a lot of money because that might be your month's income, then go with $5, right? You get into Dogecoin or get into Litecoin where the cost, the transaction cost is lower. If you live in the U.S., anywhere in the U.S., you should be able to put $100. Just get started. If you're one of those people that have been sitting there thinking like, oh, I should have done this back in 2012, and you say I should have done this in 2013, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
Get started.
There has never been a time in Bitcoin where we didn't think that we were getting in late.
Yeah.
In the last 7 years, no one has ever gotten into Bitcoin thinking they were early. Okay. Everybody has always felt I'm too late.
$40, right? Because at that point it had gone from $1 to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I hope that helps your audience, especially the beginners, get started. What our biggest thing is the security. That's the biggest thing that we want to make sure people understand, that they use hardware wallets, password managers, and that right there gets eliminates about 95% of the security risk that's involved with cryptocurrency investing. And then the biggest risk after the security is probably not doing anything.
You guys are top-notch guys, and I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Now, I wanna get a brief summary of what people will find if they visit you guys at cryptocurrency.market, and also I want to ask what is leonfu.com?
All right, so can I explain? Yeah. All right, so
your videos like that. What is
it? There is a website, leonfu.com, but I haven't touched it in a decade. Okay, I don't even know if I have I don't even remember what my password is for the domain, to manage the domain. But I started getting that name. I was one of the first persons among my friends to go register an internet domain name. That name was registered in 1997. Okay, so it's been 20 years since
when
I've
I first met Leon,
registered that
when
domain.
I first moved to Austin.
So people would ask me, hey, what's your email account? It's at leonfu.com, right? And I said, and at that time, everyone had like a at AOL or at that wasn't even Google at the time, right? It was always at Yahoo or at something. I was like, what's your email? Well, it's this at leonfu.com, and it says, what really? And that was that is how I kind of I think we met in the bar scene or something, and then I was getting trying to pick up some girls, and they say, hey, what's your email? We were single at the time, and I say, hey, what's your email? Oh, my email's leonfu.com. Leon at leonfu.com, and they're like, what? And then so that's how I got known to be as leonfu.com, because I was one of the first to have my own domain. Yeah.
All right. So tell us about cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's if you guys want to check out more information from us or learn more or follow us, the best way to follow us is at www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter, right? And it's a free newsletter. There's nothing there, it's just information. That's how every time we create a new video on our YouTube channel, we send it out to everyone. Hey, this is the new video we just created, and this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So here's something that your audience needs to know. Don't expect any fancy production, okay? We just get the information that we know out there, and our audience uses it.
Yeah.
We are not, we're not Steven Spielberg. We're not, James Cameron. Don't expect a, Titanic or an Avatar production from us, okay? We get the information out there for security and to make money, and that's it, okay?
Yeah. So Tai likes to make YouTube videos. I prefer Twitter. I like to write. I'm more of a writer, and sometimes when I want to write, I'll write a blog. But I'm at Leon C. Fu on Twitter. You can follow me. I tweet on a daily basis, and I try to write a blog, about every month or two when I have longer thoughts. But yeah, we're about investing. We're about making money, and we are about seeing opportunities. We're about managing our risk. In order to make life-changing finance. That's what we are about, is to impact the people around so that they can go pursue what they want to do in life. Not what they have to do, but what they want to do.
The cryptocurrencies has leveled the playing field, and it's allowed the little guys on Main Street to make the kind of returns that the guys are used to making on Wall Street. And when we've learned that, and that's like what we like to share with people. People always think that we make money from the channel, from advertising or ads on YouTube. We don't make, we don't even know what it makes. We don't even care, right? We make money, like we have people all the time contacting us, asking us, hey, we can get you, more subscribers. We can get you 1 million subscribers. And the first question we ask is, well, how does that make us money?
We do this. The channel is just because, it's for friends and family, and then we just got a bit of a following. But we don't make any money from anything we do on the channel.
So if you follow us, it's cryptocurrency, www.cryptocurrency.market. That's where we put all our videos up on there. And then the other one that we'll share this with you guys. I think that this is, you guys, matter of fact, you guys are the first channel that will even mention this about, to share it with, right, is the TaiFu 30 indexes, and that's at taifuindexes.com. And so the cryptocurrency is missing like an S&P 500 or a Dow Jones index that lets people check the pulse of the markets each day. And we're always trying to figure out what the market is doing that day. And finally, our team, we just got, we put a ultimatum out that we need to build the first cryptocurrency market index. So we're really proud to announce the work that our team has done by putting out the TaiFu 30 index, which should cover a big enough broad spectrum and market of what the cryptocurrency market's doing. And it started on June 17th at 100 points. And basically, when you asked us way earlier in the this show, and you asked us where we see it going, we can see the TaiFu index going from 100 points when it started, and to 1,000 easily. Easily. That's not even like something that anybody on our team even disputes.
Yeah, we started around 100 and 100 and change, and it's going to 1,000. The thing is going to go 1,000. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 7 or 8 years, but it's headed there. We don't know who, what, and when exactly, but it's going there.
Yeah. And if we had to take bets on, we would. I mean, because that's to us, that's very obvious. So hopefully, that helps you guys out. Those are our Twitter handles and our
YouTube.
YouTube. My Twitter is at Hey Taizen, right? Leon's is at Leon C Fu, And our website is www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter if you want to follow us. And then we just created the indexes at TaiFuindexes.com right there.
Like I said, you guys are top notch. Thank you guys so much for coming on Crush the Street. I really appreciate your time. And wow, I really enjoyed this format too. So I hope everyone enjoys it here at Crush. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Tai.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And the next time we're in Austin, we'll look you up and maybe we'll do it live in person, which is even better.
All right.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah. We'll be the first ones to do it in your studio. Yeah. All right. Thanks for having us on here, Kenneth.
All right.